Hello my dear student, I am continuing next topic of chapter number 15 biodiversity and conservation, that is importance of species diversity into the ecosystem. Importance of species diversity into the ecosystem. What is important of that species? First line, ecologists believe that community with more species tend to be more stable than those with less species. Ecologists believe that community with more species tend to more stable than those with less species. इकोलॉजिस्ट ने क्या बताया कि ऐसी कोई कम्युनिटी, ऐसा कोई ग्रुप वो ज्यादा मजबूत होगा तब जब वहां पे ज्यादा से ज्यादा लोग रहेंगे, ताकत ज्यादा से ज्यादा लोग रहेंगे। और दूसरा क्या है, कम्युनिटी होगा लेस स्पीसीज का कम्युनिटी क्या होंगे, वीक होंगे। सो इकोलॉजिस्ट बिलीव दैट कम्युनिटी विद मोर स्पीसीज टेंड टू बी मोर स्टेबल। जिस कम्युनिटी में ज्यादा स्पीसीज होंगे ज्यादा स्टेबल होगा कंपैरिजन विद द लेस स्पीसीज। सो लेट अस कंसीडर एट्रीब्यूट ऑफ स्टेबल कम्युनिटी। क्या क्या चीजें जरूरी होगी स्टेबल कम्युनिटी के लिए? लेट अस फोकस। It shall not show too much variation. First point of the attribute stable community, it shall not show too much variation in the year to year productivity. It shall not show too much variation in the year to year productivity. टू ना सोडा टू मच वेरिएशन। किसी भी स्टेबल कम्युनिटी में क्या होगा, वहां पे वेरिएशन बहुत ज्यादा नहीं होना चाहिए, नहीं तो वहां पे क्या होगा, चेंजिंग आएगी, स्टेबिलिटी वीकनेस हो जाएगी। नेक्स्ट वन इज द इट मस्ट बी आइदर रेजिस्टेंट और रेजिलिएंट टू सीजनल डिस्टरबेंस। इट मस्ट बी, इसे क्या होना चाहिए, किसी भी सीजनल चेंजिंग के अनुसार उसका रेजिस्टेंट, उसी के साथ अपने आप को ढाल लेना होगा, उसे वैसा ही करना होगा। इट मस्ट बी आइदर रेजिस्टेंट और रेजिलिएंट टू द सीजनल डिस्टरबेंस। इसको क्या होगा, सीजन में, किसी भी सीजन में, मौसम में कोई डिफरेंस हो, इस पर, इस स्टेबल कम्युनिटी पे कोई चेंजिंग ना हो। इट मस्ट बी रेजिस्टेंट also to alien species। इसे क्या होना चाहिए, must be resistant to also alien species। alien species के साथ भी इसको क्या करना होगा, रेजिस्टेंस करना होगा। नेक्स्ट, so after this stable community, one point is comes out, rich diversity is essential for ecosystem। Rich diversity is essential for strong ecosystem. Health imperative for the survival of the human race on this planet. By this point of view, rich diversity is the essential for strong ecosystem, health and imperative for the survival of human race on this planet. It is important features for the biodiversity into the ecosystem. So this is the topics. It is important for your board exam as well as competitive exam. So once again, ecologists believe that community with more species tend to be more stable than those with the less species. Here following three attributes of the stable community. It shall not show too much variation into year to year productivity. It must be either resistant or resilient to seasonal disturbance. It must be resistant also to alien species. So point of three views. Rich diversity is essential for the ecosystem health, imperative for the very survival of human race on this planet. And one more hypothesis is given in your NCERT book. You can see rivet proper hypothesis. इन द रिवेट प्रॉपर हाईवे, रिवेट मीन्स होता है आकर्षित करना, अपनी तरफ खींचना. इन द रिवेट प्रॉपर, दिस इज गिवन बाय पॉल अर्लिस. ही टोल्ड अबाउट इन ए एयरप्लेन ecosystem all part are in airplane ecosystem all part are joined together using thousands of the rivets, means species. If every passenger traveling in start popping at a rivet to take home, this cause species become extinct. It may not be affect flight safety, proper functioning of the ecosystem initially, but as a more and more rivets are removed, the plane become dangerously weak over a period of time. Furthermore, which rivets is removed may also be critical. Loss of rivets on the wings is obviously a more serious threat to the flight safety than loss of a few rivets on the seats or window inside the plane. This is important that stability is important in the stable community. So there is no variation takes place alternatively in the ecosystem that cause weak diversity in an ecosystem. Next topic is the loss of biodiversity. Why the biodiversity getting lost in the ecosystem? So it is, this loss is generally caused by the three steps done by the human being in the ecosystem. First one is the population, second one is the urbanization, and third one is the industrialization. This loss of biodiversity takes place by three steps: population, urbanization, and industrialization. So next one is the what can cause the colonization of tropical Pacific island by human has led to the extinction of more than 2000 species of native bird. The colonization of the tropic Pacific island by the human has led to extinction of more than 2000 species of the native bird. पैसिफिक आइसलैंड पर, ट्रॉपिकल पैसिफिक आइसलैंड में कॉलोनी का बनना किसके द्वारा? ह्यूमन बीइंग के द्वारा. वो बर्ड के स्पीसीज पर बहुत ही प्रभाव डालता है. By that the bird is going in the extinct phase, because when population come, they need to food, and that food maintained by the environmental resources, and human takes the bird in the form of food, so that the dangerous zone birds go into the dangerous zone. Next one is the 15,500 species are facing the threat all around in the world. 15,500 species are facing threat. ये लोग कठिनाई का सामना कर रहे हैं पूरी दुनिया में. And next at now अभी क्या है? 31% gymnosperm, 32% amphibian, 12% birds species, and 23% of the mammals face the threat in all over world in the diversity. So basic loss of the biodiversity by the population, this one, population, urbanization and industrialization. थ्री में जहाँ ज़्यादा पॉपुलेशन होगा वहाँ पे रिसोर्स की नीड होगी. अर्बनाइजेशन मीन्स किसी भी शहर को मेंटेन किया जाएगा, अत्याधुनिक बनेगा, तभी प्रॉब्लम है. दे नीड द नेचुरल रिसोर्स. एंड इंडस्ट्रियलाइजेशन मीन्स वहाँ पे कम रासायनिक कंपनियां अगर बना दी जाएंगी, व्हाट हैपन, दे आल्सो कॉज द environmental stress. Colonization of the human being on the tropical Pacific lands led to the extinction of more than 2,000 bird species and 15,500 species, always facing the threat all over the around. At now 31% invisible, 32% amphibian, 12% bird species and 23% of mammals face the threat in all over world. So it is the basic loss of the biodiversity, and according to the IUCN Red List 2004 document the extinction of 784 species including 338 vertebrate, 359 invertebrate and 87 plants in the last 500 years. Some example of recent extinction include the dodo, Mauritius, Koga, Africa, Thylacine, Australia, Stellarcy cow, Russia, and 3 subspecies Bali, Jaman, and Caspian of tiger. In last 20 years, 27 species have been dispersed, and this caused by the only three main things: population, urbanization, industrialization, and global maintenance of the globalization of the world. And so we should focus on population, urbanization, industrialization. By that, this biodiversity getting lost in the ecosystem. Next one is the loss of biodiversity is region leads to. What happens when biodiversity loss takes place in the ecosystem? Decrease in the plant production or decline in the plant production. Plant की production में कमी आ जाएगी when diversity become less. Less resistance environmental resistance to environment disturbance such as droughts and floods takes place. What happens when the biodiversity become lost? Less resistant to the environmental and disturbance such as drought and flood takes place. Next, increases in variability in ecosystem process like plant productivity, water use, disease cycle, and pest, etc. This takes cause the loss of biodiversity in a region of decrease in the plant production or decline of the plant production, less resistant to the environmental disturbance such as droughts and flood, सूखा हो सकता है, वहाँ पे बाढ़ भी आ सकती है. Increase variability to in the ecosystem process like plant productivity, water use, disease cycle, pest, etc. So this is all about of the loss of biodiversity and their cause in the ecosystem.